So this is an exercise that I sometimes do in my classroom. It's called the electric maze. It's a grid. Have you ever done it, Nouman? So it's, 9 squares in one direction and 6 in the other. And the job is the students have to get from one side to the other. And the basically, I've shown you this, now I have to kill you. So don't take a picture. No, seriously. The X's, wherever there's an X, that's where we'll beep if you step on it. If there's no X, no beep. The job of the team is to find the path of non-beeping squares from one end to the other. You can see there's a little dead end problem there. So, so it's hard, but honestly, there's no way to solve it without stepping. Okay, so here's what we see often. We see someone with what I call the stork position, right? We've gotten this far. We've had a few, got those first 3 quiets maybe. And then, I don't want to step, right? Chewing up valuable time, because this is a time limited exercise. Most of the teams I do this with fail. They just don't find the solution quick enough. So then I ask, we do the debrief and I say, what were you thinking? What was going on in your head here? And here's what they say. I didn't want to make a mistake. But it's not a mistake. It's a beep going forward. And if you want to innovate, you must welcome the beeps going forward, right? And then they'll also sometimes say something like, I didn't want to let my team down. Again, when you're bringing your team a beep, you're bringing them data, right? Not failure. I mean, it's a failure, but it's a tiny, tiny one. It's the right kind of wrong. So here's where they never succeed because they don't titrate their vigilance. They want to get it right. These are like type A, okay? They want to get it right every time, and you can't. It's new territory. So it gives them a deep emotional appreciation of why innovation is hard for people and what they might need to do as leaders of innovation projects to make it easier. Other side, completely other side of the landscape here. High stakes and variable context. Yes, aviation. I had the privilege of interviewing a captain at United Airlines who was also an aviation safety expert. And he told me that every week you get like a new crew, new, and he's the boss, right? And you get brand new co-pilots. And he said that I always start the briefing as follows. I say, I have never flown a perfect flight. And they look at me like they're thinking, what's he talking? Like they feel a little awkward. He goes, no, I'm serious. I've never flown a perfect flight and it won't happen today. I need you, right? Which is making sure they understand what kind of you might think we do this in our sleep. We don't. Right? And he admitted to me in the interview that it really bothers him that he's never flown a perfect flight. But he says it hasn't happened. So what we all need to do, I think we need to rethink excellence. Those financial services executives need to rethink excellence. What does it mean? It means we are going to work together. We are going to do our very best to minimize basic failures, to try to prevent most of them. We're going to do our very best to anticipate and mitigate the complex failures that lurk around every corner. And we're going to do our very best to welcome and promote and try to push people toward more intelligent failures, which, remember, are safe. They occur behind closed doors often and in laboratories. And this means error awareness. This means psychological safety, to speak up, to sort of accept that this is our lot. This is the sort of the world in which we live and work. And acknowledge failure. Acknowledge when people speak up about failure in a timely way. Celebrate that. Make them feel better.